This is the shoulder bridge and the shoulder bridge with extension exercise on the reformer. These exercises can be used for spinal mobility, for core strength and stability, and depending on the tension that you have or the springs that you have on, you can also use it for hamstring lengthening and strengthening. So to start off, what you want is that your head block is completely flat, so that your neck is going to be in neutral, your foot bar is all the way up, and I'm going to pick 2 medium strength springs, tension springs for this, so 2 yellows on my Peak Pilates Fit reformer. The lighter the resistance, the more challenging it is in terms of stability. The heavier the resistance, the more support you're going to have, but the more you're going to feel it working through the thigh muscles. So I'm somewhere in the middle with the two yellow springs. So start by lying down. You want to have your head on your flat headrest, your shoulders just gently towards the shoulder pads, not too squashed or too tight. We've got our legs, our heels up on the foot bar, and our heels hip width apart. We're going to start with some pelvic movements and some pelvic tilts. So we'll start by rolling into an anterior pelvic tilt, and then finishing with a posterior tilt. And from the posterior tilt, then we begin by peeling up from the tailbone, vertebrae by vertebrae, up into shoulder bridge, just minimizing any rib flare here, keeping the pelvis in a nice neutral position at the top. Inhaling, and on the exhale, we go down in the exact same way, vertebrae by vertebrae. And this will make this movement really good for our spinal mobility. So you're trying to get movement and mobility through each level of the spine, helping with any stiffness or tightness. We're also working through the backs of the thighs here, glutes and hamstrings working to help lift us into the air, and also working around our core muscles as well. If you've got low bone density or arthritis, you'll probably need to modify this and not do the bone by bone motion, but instead lifting and lowering with a neutral spine. To move on from the regular shoulder bridge, then we can add a knee extension. So when we're in the air this time, we'll stay up. Our challenge was to keep the carriage still there. And now what we're going to do with a neutral spine, nice relaxed rib cage, we're going to push away into extension, getting a lovely hamstring stretch, and then controlling the carriage back in again. You want to come in with control and not with the spring kind of pop, so that you're in control. If you come in really, really fast with the springs, then you're not in control and you're not going to feel the same work through the hamstrings, glutes and core. Your goal is to come back in and not hit the stopper. So if you come back in and you hit the stopper, you know you've come a little bit too far. You want to keep that little bit of resistance on before you go again. We exhale on the way out, inhale on the way in. One more. And then we will come back to the stopper, and for our final part of the sequence, we lower back down, vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. And that's the shoulder bridge and the shoulder bridge with extension.